Hello there. My name is Anthony, and this is a follow-up or sequel to the video I made last time about how to use the internet. Well, a few things that I skipped, I think, was I talked about ICANN and the emergence of or the inception of the internet by another agency called DARPA. Well, ICANN stands for Internet Committee for Assigned Numbers and Names. Basically, they dealt with the organization of the internet with respect to giving them numbers or names that were actually useful for from a technical aspect of it. And the DARPA, or Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, was also working with those three universities that help build the internet. So that was what I left, and I think there's one or two other things where the other uses of the internet, I believe, I forgot to mention, was internet banking. So in the comfort of your home, you can use the internet to do internet banking. And even more important or popular is the fact that everybody is doing online shopping from Amazon or wherever, using the internet. So those were the two things, or a couple of things I left behind. Now to continue with my part two, this part two is going to talk about PCs and computers in networking. So it's a very large subject, and I do not want to go on and on and on. So I might leave a few things out, which I will carry forward on to part three, which I believe will be the World Wide Web. So let's get on with PCs, computers, and laptops, and computers and networking. In computers and networking. So here we go. PCs were started around the late 70s, I believe, and one of the earliest ones was, which my daughter used, was an 8088. Now, I don't want to go into the details of what all those numbers stand for, but it was an 8-bit processor. So the processors were the heart of computers and other devices. Like today, we use what do we use? We use tablets and other devices, all of which use microprocessors, which, as I just mentioned, is the heart of a computing system in these devices, computers, laptops, and tablets, etc. So it was 8 bits, and somebody predicted once, I think it was Murphy, that called it a Murphy, that said, that Murphy, who said that computer processing speed will double every 18 months. And true to what he said, today we are using microprocessors by Intel, AMD, and other manufacturers that are very, very fast. I believe up to 8th generation of Intel processing power that's quite popular in all of these devices. So in computers, PCs, and laptops, there are three main areas, and I will touch on them briefly. The three main areas are hardware, which is basically the bare bones of a computer, which is consisting of a motherboard, wherein all your different components sit, like video cards and networking cards and so on, that determine the performance of a computer, along with the microprocessor, which is also part of the motherboard. And since it generates a lot of heat, you have a fan to cool that microprocessor, which is basically takes all the input, computes it, and gives you an output. Again, I don't want to go into the technical aspects of it. Basically, it all boils down to a language that is understood by a computer. The language understood by a computer is binary, bits and bytes, zeros and ones, translating that into mathematical or logical language. So along with the other components on the motherboard, we also have um, uh, in the computer, we have CD-ROMs or Blu-rays, which are fast devices that can record and play back. And then we have the hard drive and a monitor, and a keyboard or mouse as well, which basically enables you to manage the keyboard strokes or input, along with the clicks that enable you to point to where on the computer screen you want to access a certain event or action. So the other one is on the motherboard. So these form, all these devices I just mentioned form the hardware aspect of it. But there's one other aspect or component that people don't talk of very much. It's very popular in the technical field, and that is called the firmware. The firmware is a chip or program on the BIOS. The BIOS being the a little chip on the motherboard, which is BIOS, B-I-O-S, standing for Basic Input Output System. That is a program, a small program on the BIOS or on the motherboard, and it determines what type of hardware you have on your motherboard or computer. And at boot up, it will detect that hardware automatically. Like it will detect your keyboard, your mouse, it will detect your CD-ROM or Blu-ray, it will detect your video card and display, and it will detect also the USB ports, amount of memory, and the hard drive. So that's basically what is on your BIOS and called firmware. The other aspect of a computer is the software. Now, we can talk a lot about software because it's basically the operating system that runs on your computer. It can be anywhere from, in the good old days, they used what is called a DOS interface, or basically a black screen with keystroke inputs. Disk operating system, of course, we progressed to using from floppy drives, it's progressed to using CD-ROMs and USBs, etc. And what we have today is the operating system called, we moved from 95 XP, we moved on to Windows 2000. From Windows 2000, we moved on to 2003 and 7 and Windows XP, sorry, prior to Windows 2000. Then we moved to 2000, again I repeat myself, 2003, and 2007, 2008. Today we have 2010 and Windows 2011. So that's basically because we moved through so many operating systems which are more and more advanced and provided more and more capabilities and utilities to determine the efficacy or efficiency, speed, and other wonderful features that these operating systems had. So all of these were actually Windows that was put out by Microsoft Corporation, whose mission statement was to provide a new operating system every 2 or 3 years. And sometimes it ended up being 4 years. But it came up with newer features, which basically had a lot of instruction code, and it took a long while. And so we upgraded or updated based on the operating systems. Along with those operating systems, we had, when an operating system was put out, a new one, like Windows 10 or 11, or even Windows 8, we had service packs, or basically additional software that fixed the problems that were inherent in the hastily put out operating systems. So they were called service packs. And after adding all of that stuff, then we had antivirus software, which basically prevented pop-ups, advertised blockers by prospective people who wanted to advertise. And we had software that blocked those pop-ups, as well as prevented malicious software from invading the computer and destroying it. In addition to all of that, we had a basic applications that was put out again by Microsoft. It was called Office, and today I think we have Office 365 that consists of Word to enable you to create documents such as resumes or any other letters used in a regular office. And we have the Excel spreadsheet allowing you to have a matrixed spreadsheet that included rows and columns where you could actually have a number of items incorporated that makes it look like a wonderful spreadsheet, maybe used in warehouses or in an accounting office also. Then we have included in this bundle of Office, we have Outlook, which is a component of the email aspect of computers, a computing system, right? Send and receive email. And the other components or parts of the Office system were Notepad and OneNote and little bits and pieces of software that enhanced the features of the Office package. And along with that came many other applications that were used, video editing software, and a whole bunch of software that is beyond the scope of this PCs and laptops systems that I was going to talk to you about. And so computers today enable you to do a lot of things, right? Record speech, and the tablets used along with them enable delivery companies like UPS and FedEx to obtain a signature on receiving or sending parcels and such using FedEx and UPS companies. So in order to take deliveries or dispatch stuff to whoever you want. In commerce. So today we have a shortage of microchips, which is the heart of the computer system, and so on. And that leaves me with very little time to talk about computers and networking, computers in networking. So computers in networking, basically a computer or a laptop by itself is called a standalone device. But when you hook up more than one laptop or computer in order to share files and printers or fax machines, then you have to network these computers, and it's called computer networking. You utilize a hub or a router in order to hook up to the internet. So now you can talk to computers in remote places. And that's called computer networking. Now, in order to do that safely, you have to have a lot of software installed and enable you to talk to computers in other parts of the world. And now all I talked about was an operating system called Windows, but we also have other operating systems from Apple, which are called Mac, iMac, computers that have iMacs incorporated in the network system use iOS, right, as their operating system. And so we have computer networking that now can use other operating systems like Mac OS or even Unix. That is another operating system that and is used in specialized environments. So that's about it, I guess, for this part of my part two. I might have left out one other component called wireless technology, which I might cover in my next chapter, which is going to be called the World Wide Web, or under the hood, and what's under the hood, and what other aspects of the World Wide Web are useful in today's environments. So that's about it, my friends. I will try to include any other things that might be helpful, that I might not covered. Basically, performance of computers and laptops, and the various models that give you the best features of those devices. So for now, I will have to let you go, and we'll talk about the World Wide Web, WWW, wherein a lot of things happen that enable you to do internet banking and buy and sell, or e-commerce that enhances the features of computers, networking, and such. So we're talking about, sometimes we might delve into the technologies that are associated with these various parts that we called the internet, laptops, and desktop computers, etc., and also the World Wide Web. The technologies are advancing, and I might cover that in my chapter 4 after I have discussed the World Wide Web, WWW. So looking forward to talk with you on those subjects, and for now, I have to sign off. So bye for now.